What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. It is the 15th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $531 with 2 hours and 8 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Shout out to the Dragon Riders out there. Here we are, and we've actually spilled back over. We are no longer finding support atop of resistance here. We've actually moved down, which is unfortunate. It was not the outcome that we were predicting, but it's something that's okay nonetheless. We still have a higher high overall in this trend, and for this breakdown, as scary as it may or may not be to some people, for this breakdown happening, we're not really getting that much volume at all. So, I think we're just at that time of year where the volume really does step away from the markets and screwy price action happens a little bit more often. I want to look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom back out from there, okay? But again, yeah, there's just really not that much volume here. Looking at BCH on Binance, it's the biggest exchange that has Bitcoin Cash. Let's do Coinbase, though. I like using Coinbase for the Bitcoin Cash chart because they at least have the all-time history. 1 hour time frame here. If not the all-time history, they've got most of the history, most of the historical data. We did pick up a little volume on the drop. It's not that there was no volume at all, but again, on a daily time frame, it's really not much. Right, it's really not much. It's nothing compared to what we had on the upside. I don't think that this drop is anything to worry about, and I would assume that we soon do return to the upside. Now, one thing that I will mention, which is a little bit discouraging, is that we had this momentum that was basically built up to this point right here. We're finding higher lows all the way through. I cannot believe that we've actually broken out to the downside here. And with that being said, on the bright side, we have moved quite a ways away from these levels. We have cooled off a lot on the RSI. We're back here at the 40 now, which is a really good area to bounce. We really haven't moved that far in terms of price, right? Like we're back here where on the RSI we were at this low. Now we're lower. It's like you're trying harder. You've got weaker moves. You're trying harder to push the price down, and you're getting less results. It's hidden bullish divergence. So that's the good thing, but it's unfortunate. We were right at this point where I thought we were going to bust, and well, we busted out to the other direction. The expectation here again being that because we have lower lows in the RSI but higher lows in the price, same thing with the stochastics, same thing even with the MACD. Hidden bullish divergence would imply that this trend does continue. I doubt that we go too much lower. I want to look at the 1 hour time frame and see if we're seeing signs of turning around right here. 1 hour time frame here. Looking at this on the RSI, no bullish divergence, but you are pretty deep in that oversold area. When's the last time we were this oversold? Let's just see. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time. It's been since October 17th that we've been this oversold. That's like ages on the 1 hour scale. The last time we were this oversold, yeah, literally, here, there. We look at it. Let's just see from this point right here. If you guys hear that, that's my daughter. She just keeps running back and forth. I don't know why. I don't know why running too. But it's great. Oh man. Anyways, that was the low. That was the low. We were literally at the low. The low on October 17th was the low for Bitcoin Cash. That was at the same price that we're at now. I guess we had the low on the 21st of November. It's like a double bottom, but whatever. Anyways, zooming way the hell in now. We're going to zoom way in there. There we go. Make sure we've got all our handy-dandy indicators here. Looking at the stochastics, we do have some bullish divergence. We're coming out of the oversold zone. That's a positive look in itself. The MACD and the RSI, they don't look good overall, but again, the last time we were here, that was a pretty significant low. I shouldn't say macro low, but a significant low. It was our last significant low that we had was the last time they were at this level. Stochastics, bullish divergence. You're getting some volume, but it's really not that much. Like, sure, it seems like there's a lot of volume because we had no volume here, so this seems like a lot of volume, but really, this is not much volume. Like, this volume does not merit this movement. I have a huge feeling, especially in this very wish-washy environment, we're probably going to see the price come back up in a very short amount of time. It's a really good time to buy Bitcoin Cash here at 532. I can't believe that it's at this low of a price, so we've even had this opportunity here. 4 hour time frame looking at this. Higher lows, lower lows, oversold. The last time we were this oversold on the 4 hour was the 4th of November. And we were at a low point there as well. Right? The last time we were this oversold on the RSI was over here. We were at a low point there as well. We did go lower inevitably, but from there we went higher at least, right? From here we would go higher. MACD, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get back above the 0, and I'm disappointed in the stochastics. They're definitely both sad, but that's okay. I am calling for a low here, at least at this point. Let's see. Let me actually, before I make that definitive, let's see. Do we want to call for this low? Low, oh, come on. Low to high. Get the low on there. Right at the 0.5. I think so. If Bitcoin Cash goes lower, I will say this. I don't think we break below $500. I would be very surprised if we did. At this point, I would be surprised if we went too much lower than this. It's pretty common for Bitcoin Cash to find support just below its 0.5, so that makes a lot of sense to me. And then off of this relative fib here, just from the high to low, or low to high here, we went, okay, hold on, let me delete this fib so it's a little bit more clear. You went right through the golden ratio on your first attempt, all the way down to 886. In this type of environment, right, we have not hit the golden ratio level. This is the golden ratio here. We did not hit it any of these times before, right? From a low to a high, this is the range. We did not hit the golden ratio at either of these lows. This was your first attempt. And with your first attempt, you broke clean through it. Mark my words, this is something you could take to the bank. Almost always it's perfect. The only times that you really don't see this come to fruition is in really like black swan events or low liquidity environments, right? Or if you're taking the wrong fib range, that's something that's like not significant. Something like maybe this low to this high, for example. This one is pretty insignificant in itself, but I think we're showing respect on these fib ranges, so I think it's got some significance. We are playing with fire a little bit on this, but mark my words, if you take a significant fib range, any significant fib range, which again, this one's probably borderline, and you break through the golden ratio on the first attempt, when you go to the 786, 886 area, you typically do pull back to the 0.5 to 236 area. And sometimes, if you hold the 786, if you don't go below the 786, but you break through the golden ratio and you bounce off the 786, those are often the moments where you do just propel straight higher. But anyways, the expectation is that it's going to be a very short-lived amount of time down here. I mean, we've probably spent more time down here than we have left in the amount of time that we'll be below the golden ratio. In a very short amount of time, I would expect that we're back above 556, if not even above 583. By the end of this week, right, it's a brand new week here. We're looking at the weekly time frame. 6 days, 3 hours left in this week, more like 6 days, 2 hours left in this week. This week is down right now 4.5%. I would not be surprised in the least. There might be those of you out there who would be taken back by this. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if by the end of this week we were closing above $600. I would not be surprised in the least. If we're not to $600 or higher, I would at least expect that we close this week green, that we do reverse and we close somewhere above 560. Okay. I would not be surprised in the least if we were to close above $600 though. We're right there. We're right on the edge of greatness. Right? All we did was come back down and found support where last time we were consolidating here, guess where our low end was? Right here. It's actually pretty damn obvious. This wasn't so obvious, at least not to me, because we were finding support. We looked really good. This was healthy stair-stepping structure. I would have thought it continued, but whatever. We dumped down today because people want to sell. I don't know who the geniuses are that are selling, but hopefully none of you. Do whatever you want though. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Yeah, I suppose if we were looking at this yesterday on Sunday, the fact that you came down below the 0 on the MACD and then you came back up, the fact that this wasn't successful, we should have gotten bearish like right here. I wonder how that would have played out for us. Let's just see. I mean, that would have played out well. You know, that would have been, yeah. Like just looking at the MACD, you see how that shows the stochastics turning around here just like they did last time before. The RSI, I guess not getting above the 50 is a problem. The RSI might have been a little less clear. Normally, these ones are less clear. The RSI is more reliable, but I guess these were a little more reliable this time. Anyways, hindsight's 2020. Looking at this here on the daily time frame, the RSI has broken out. We have broken out of the uptrend, and that's never a good thing. But we're at the 40, which I don't know if you can tell, but here we bounced right off the 40. Here we found resistance off the 40. Here we found support off the 40. We're right there now. You know, we're right in this area where we typically like to find support. So I do think that we'll find support. Hopefully this breaking out of this uptrend isn't as big of a deal. It's not so much of an uptrend either, right? It's not like the biggest deal that we broke. We broke the higher lows, sure, but really we're still kind of dealing with this overall resistance here. So it's not like we really broke out of an uptrend. We just have where we were expecting to break out of this trend here, we got rejected. Maybe this is the last rejection before we actually pierce through, and that would be nice to see. the daily stochastics have reset. We're back at the oversold area. Typically, not always, but another kind of little fun fact for you. Typically, whenever you see this where the blue line gets really far away from the orange line, especially in these oversold or overbought environments, typically, and it's not that it's far away, it's not that it's away from it at all. It has to be very far away. I think the orange line being up near the 50 where this thing's oversold, I think that's a pretty big distance. Where like here, you know, they're not as far away. You're overbought here, but you're not as far away, but still kind of far away. And still, that was actually at a relative high point. Whenever you get separated like this, the blue line and the orange line to this degree, and you're oversold, it's typically at a low point. That's all I'm trying to say, right? Like, let's see if we can find an example of that. Like here, you were pretty separated there, and that was a low point. Was it the low overall? No, but it was a low point. Here, you got pretty far away from it, right? And that was a low point right there before you moved up higher. Here, your blue line's well above your orange line. You're overbought. You're nowhere near the overbought. So with the orange line, you're at a relative high point, right? It's just a little food for thought there that I think we are, again, we saw a little bit of a flash crash, but we're probably right at the area that you'd expect to find support at. The MACD crossing red on the daily time frame is no fun, but in all fairness, we are bullishly postured overall. The oscillators are above the zero, so that's nice here. This could be a false cross, or even if it's something a little bit more modest than a false cross, or less modest than a false cross, we can absolutely still push on higher. But we're looking for a short recovery. Hopefully, you know, over the next 2 hours, we do pull up and maybe we don't close this day green, but at least eat back some of the losses. We're only down 4.6%. And yet we've seen these indicators cool off a lot. So that's kind of encouraging. We haven't had a lot of volume. I really think that we're primed and ready. And we all know what's coming next, right? If you don't know, you're about to know. Right? What comes next is whatever aftermath the crypto gods have in store for us Bitcoin Cash investors. Whatever the aftermath is of breaking out of a lifelong multi-bear market, multi-bull market, historical lifelong consolidation phase, whatever they got in store for us for breaking out of this triangle here, that's what's coming next. And I'm thinking, personally, we don't stop at this high, so we probably see the extended levels of whatever this high to low is here. We could stop at this high, we could stop above it, or we could stop below it. And these levels from a high to a low actually line up pretty well with that. 3,600 right below that high, 5,500 right above that high. I mean, we could stop directly in the middle, which would be kind of weird based off the fibs, but it wouldn't be weird because this is our all-time high. We could stop right there at 4,300. Something in this like $6,500 to $3,600 area is what we're expecting. And from the current price of 532, that would be a 6.7x. And likely we don't stop there. I would think that we go past that. But at this point, I'm feeling confident enough where I would say $3,650 is the minimum target. If you want to be a stickler, if you want to be real conservative, maybe the monthly high close could be your target. But I think anything below this high is a joke. And the only level of significance besides that, in my opinion, would be here. So something at 2,300 or higher, I'm thinking 3,700 or higher personally. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Sorry for the late video, but I had stuff going on today. It was not a good night for me last night either. Everything's fine. Everybody's fine. But just, you know, like sometimes life throws a curveball at you and you got to deal with things. You got to, you know, you got to put on your pants and you got to show up. And that's what I did. But I was not able to make videos at the normal times like I normally like to because of that. So anyways, hit the like button. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. I don't know why it hasn't stopped recording yet. But I'm still here. You know what? If you're here, it's a special bonus time. We're going to play a song. I don't know what song we're going to play. I haven't learned any new songs. Oh, I can't get my guitar. There we go. And I think my daughter has messed with the strings. Yes, she has. Absolutely. Wow. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Almost. Had I known I had to do this, I probably wouldn't have done this. Well, can't you see that it's just raining? just a maybe, hardly even notice when I try to show you this song is meant to keep you from doing what you're supposed to. Waking up too early, maybe we could sleep in, make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now. We can pretend it all the time, but can't you see that it's just raining? There ain't no need to go outside. Just anyways, I hope I don't get CR'd for that, but hopefully it's just the end if it is. Whatever. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.